Good morning, and welcome to Monday's edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And we have a really exciting announcement to make for you today. And I also want to announce the winner for my Patreon's monthly reading. The person that won my Patreon that won the reading for this month with me is Christina Holmes. Christina, please reach out to me through my email address, williammichaelforbes59@gmail.com, and you can schedule your reading with me. And congratulations. I'm so happy for you that you won that reading, Christina. And again, thank you to all my other Patreons for your support. You'll be receiving an email this week about our Patreons only live event on the 7th of this month at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm really excited about that today, that we get to do that this week. Also, I've got Archangel Raphael with me to wanted to talk about love as the thing that moves us forward. Love is the thing that moves us forward. Fear doesn't move us forward. Love moves us forward. But also, before I get into that, I had Master Jesus come in yesterday and today, and he said to me, he wants, I'm going to read from this specifically. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be very intense. It's going to be a book, an audio cassette, and a paperback that's going to be called The Second Bible by Master Jesus. The questions, and he's asked me to ask you guys to submit any questions you have that are relevant to his teachings from the Bible, questions that you know that are relevant to his teaching in the Bible. And he wants you to submit your questions so that he can address them in the second Bible. Again, this is all based on his teachings, exclusively on his teachings from the Bible. It's not going to be like a full representation of the existing Christian and Catholic Bibles. It's strictly going to be his own expression of his teachings as they were represented in the Bible from his personal perspective, rather than just the way it was rewritten and rewritten and rewritten through texts over the centuries. This will be his understanding. An example would be, he gave to us, he said, an example of the concept of the kingdom of God is within you, right? Literally that's the truth, that there actually is a consciousness that you can go to inside you where you can unite with your creator within you. And he'll explain all of how he understands that to be in language that you'll understand. So it's not going to be like in the Bible. I got a statement. He said also, as a man believeth in his heart, so is he. And he's going to explain in common terms what that represents in language that anybody can understand. The subconscious mind, the conscious mind, how they actually work in the creative process so that you can learn to connect with your creator, with God, and learn to communicate directly with him yourself. And everybody can do that. Everybody can do that. Everybody can connect directly to God. And so he wants to do that. Now, also, you have until the 15th of this month to submit your questions for the second Bible. And in the description box, we'll be posting an email address in the description box below, the second Bible at protonmail.com. But except it's going to be, you'll see the email address is not written phonetically like that. It's very specifically. We'll put that email in the description box. So please have your questions submitted before the 15th of this month. I've been asked to announce this Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays right up until the 15th of this month, which I believe is a Friday. So please, I'm really excited to see what kind of questions you're going to have. And this is going to be a really exciting project for you to participate in with us. And again, I want to thank, for those of you in advance, I'll thank you for submitting your questions. Again, the email address, the link to the email address will be in the description box below this video and all subsequent videos between now and the 15th of this month. And wow, this is like really exciting when this came in. There's just so many things that are happening. The angels, the guides, the multidimensional beings, the Pleiadians, there are so many beings here seeking to assist us in transitioning from this consciousness of being just driven by our senses, driven by our need for pleasure, exclusively from the perspective of body. Not to be misunderstood that pleasure is a good thing, but when pleasure overrides your recognition of the well-being of yourself and others, then it is no longer pleasure, although it will be temporary, and that is all. But the understanding that the ultimate pleasure is love in expression. The ultimate pleasure is your love in expression. And the rewards that come from your love in expression are infinitely greater than the rewards that come from the temporal experiences of pleasure that you will gain exclusively from your senses. And there is nothing wrong with experiencing a good taste or a good touch or a good smell. But when that dominates your actions and blinds you to the well-being and the rights of others, then it is not a good thing. But love, on the other hand, if you are in full alignment with love, then there will be no confusion about the effects of love, for the effects of love are very precise, always eternally precise. The effects of temporal pleasure, not so effective, because it can blind you to what is really true and valuable and good. So yes, Archangel Raphael is saying it's really important that you understand that the vibration of love is not something that is limited to the sense apparatus. Although your sense apparatus can experience the manifestations of love, such as bringing into your life a new experience or a new opportunity or new people that are based in that value of love. It is the only thing that will truly move you forward, either as an individual or as a collective. Understanding that love is a vibrational frequency that it has in its heart the utmost regard for all living beings. Love, as its true expression, has in its highest regard the well-being of all living beings. Even the insects of the earth you would treat very differently if you were living in love. This planet would be very differently expressing, the human realm at least, if you were all living from love. Love is not something that is defined as something of the body only. Love is something that is a process of expression that allows you to ennoble others in who they truly are. Many of you are caught in the temporary measure of love, which is, again, a moment of pleasure from the senses. But love is eternal. Love is immortal. Love is also the most powerful tool for healing. You can heal far faster with love than you ever can from any medicine on this planet when you understand how to utilize or align yourself to that love, which is the love of the divine beating your heart right now, the love of the divine handling cell division in your body right now, the love of the divine that is able to convert food you place into this body into different substances that serve it. You yourself cannot do this. If we placed a piece of fruit in your hand, it would remain a piece of fruit in your hand, but you could not convert it into a lung or into a nerve cell or into a stomach cell. You could not do that yourself. So you rely on this intelligent, all-loving consciousness to do things for you, and you forget that it is even doing them for you, although you take it for granted that it will be done for you until you violate the laws. Wow. It's been interesting. Yeah, many of you come to call on me for healing, and healing is within your hands. It is within you to do this also. You may come to me and others for instruction, but the process of healing is understanding that frequencies are what instill changes in matter, and the frequency of love is the highest of them all in this physical dimension. How would you do this? You do not understand until you know what love is as a feeling and how it affects even the individual cells in your body. You know how fear affects your body and how anger affects your body, and you know how the acts of men are affected by those behaviors, those vibrations, fear and anger. How would you understand love? How would you know that love is something that you are enacting? Well, it would be very good, your life right now, if you were living your life from the vibration of love, not seeking to get a vibration of love, because love is something that is what you are. But to enact it as an expression of yourself is to free you, from it, to free you from it. Yes, I understand. So we're going to do a short Q&A session today. Yes. So love, yeah. So the concept that love moves us forward. Fear holds us back. Yes. This is very clear. Let's get into questions, because your questions are more important than me trying to just interpret what he's saying. Question from Diane. The round rock that seemed to roll down to me purposely, is there something special or different to it? Valuable message today. Yeah, it's funny you're saying that, because I was out with a friend the other day, and something very similar happened. But yeah, and there's nothing that happens in our life without something causing it. You cannot have an effect without a cause, nor a cause without an effect. Yes. Raphael is saying, for you in this condition, you must understand, are you ready to receive the rock upon which you can stand? Are you ready to receive that rock? Yes. She must be told that it is important. She understands that there should be nothing shifting inside her, that there should be very solid clarity around what her faith is. Is her faith that of love, or is her faith that of fear? Tell her this. The rock is simply a symbol. Are you solid within yourself? You need to build a solid foundation within yourself about your life. Yeah. Yeah, he's saying rock and roll, right? Get onto it. Rock and roll forward. Like, really get going with this process of your life. Make certain you're choosing things and events and circumstances that are really going to support you energetically. Yeah. He's saying too few people on this world really understand and articulate love as it is, not as their own interpretation of what it is, but as it really is. The words and acts of love are very different than what most of you know. The words and acts of love are very different than most of you know. And if more of you knew this, your world would be very different right now. There would be no fear here. Love does not suffer fear to come unto it, although love will end fear if it should meet it. Cool. Thank you, Diane. Great question. Question from Julia. I am still with COVID, especially in my chest. How do I maximize healing to get better? Great question, Julia. Let me ask him. He's saying to take your hands and place your hands over the place where the discomfort is most prevalent within the body, but place your hands over these places and very gently, just allow yourself to feel the flow of energy from your hands into the places of your body where that blockage is. What I want you to do is become aware of the interaction of your energy from the hands to that part, and allow yourself to feel how the part that receives the energy from your hands, how it feels receiving that energy from your hands, and allow it to be received. You understand that the mechanisms of your hands are very different than the mechanisms of any other part of your body, that you do utilize energy through your hands. You place energy out through one hand and you can receive energy into another. You can reverse this process, but for you to allow the energy to flow from both hands into this place and to feel how the place within your lungs receives this. Be very attentive to how the place in your lungs receives this vibration. He's saying the sensation will be pleasing. You will feel that part of you receiving the vibration from your hands, and your experience of how it is being received will reinforce the transmutation that begins to occur. Feel that. if you need to move the hands to follow any other areas that call forth for that light, move your hands around to those different locations over the body that need to receive that light through the hands. Ultimately, I would say that all healing is grounded in love. But you, as the awareness of that body, have the ability to be both the giver and the receiver of energy. And it is important to understand what you are giving and how it is received. For each part of your body does have a unique, distinct life of its own. The life of your lungs, the consciousness of your lungs, the nature of your lungs is different than the nature of your heart, or different than the nature of your kidneys. But they are individual functioning entities within the form that serve their own purpose. And so your lungs, allow yourself to feel that very, very consciously. Be willing to breathe that energy in from the hands as well. Be willing to breathe that energy in from the hands as well. Wow, great question. Thank you so much. Let us know how that goes there, Julia. Thank you so much. Hi, Rita. Good morning, Trieste. Hello from Belgium. Hi, Sunny. I keep getting nightmares. Last night I saw a male being. Stepping forward. Who was it, and why did he scare me so much? I don't know who he is, but he's stepping forward and he's saying, my intention is not and was not to scare you, but your interpretation of who I am is what frightens you. Please understand that you're not being able to comprehend who I am makes it difficult for you to accept me. You're very much like a child estranged. You're very much like a child estranged by my presence. But if you would recall my first encounter with you, that it was not so much the fear that captured you to pay attention to me, but your fear came about when you began to feel the fullness of who I am. Put your fear aside, and you will see that I am not who you fear me to be. Yeah, he's saying that a lot of people, that you're not the only one he's going to. There's others he's going to as well. A lot of people, he says, when they first encounter him, often experience him from the perspective of their ego, which is based in animal instinctual nature. Yeah, he says most people don't see him for who he is. They see me from their mind, their fear. They do not feel me. They think about me. Yeah. He's saying it will loan you to understand and know better if you choose to feel rather than to interpret. Right? A lot of us do that. We get information, we get experience, we try to interpret what we're experiencing from what we remember, and all we can get from what we remember is what we remember. So if, for example, when I went through abuse as a child, for many years after that, for about 20 years after that, if I encountered certain men, I often felt apprehensive around them because the memory of my experience got in the way of what I was actually experiencing. So I was not able to avail myself of many incredible opportunities that came to me when I was younger because of this past fear I'd had. Learning to see and to experience life from the present moment is very different. Learning to see and experience life from the present moment is very different than how most people do it from what they remember. Most people are looking at the past present. They're not looking at the present as it is. They're looking at the past, a past mind in the present moment. It's so important to overcome that. Stop living in the past. A question from Nicole. I fell in the shower yesterday and hit my head pretty hard. Would this stop my brain from running amok while in meditation? It is not your brain that is running amok in your meditations, dear one. This has nothing to do with your brain at all. This has to do with your memories. It is important. Your mind wishes to stay in control of you. As we see this being propagated through fear, there's so much fear to keep your ego alive on this planet. If you can surrender your fear, there will be no confusion anymore. The knock on the head was simply a reminder that it's time to get your head out of the way. And we do not mean that from the perspective of your physical head or your physical brain. We mean getting your thinking mind out of the way in meditation. Getting that part of you that tries to figure everything out of the way so that you can directly experience that which you are here to experience with us when you go into this place you call meditation. But you cannot accurately understand the truth if you're analyzing it from what you remember. You will simply taint what the present moment has with what you remember, and therefore you do not see what is truly in front of you. You simply see the past represented in the present. And that is like putting on a glass eye darkly and seeing things very differently than you would if you took those glasses off. Your history is like a lens that you often look through, coloring the present in it. And so very few of you understand what being in the present moment really is, as you tend to view it from the past of what was. Wow. Thank you, Nicole. Great question. Good morning, Desiree. Rainbow of Boxes is asking, is there a message for me today? Yeah. Take it easy today. Release the stress of the future. Release your stress of the future. You really need to slow yourself down. You need to slow yourself down this day and go for a walk and be present. Do not try to dwell on things to come or things that have been, but truly give yourself some relief by being in the present moment. Yes. And it really is like that. Like for me, my guardian angel John's been talking to me a lot these last 4 or 5 days. And learning to let go of that attachment to the past or trying to figure out or trying to get in the future is so important for us, right? Yeah, Raphael saying you cannot heal. You cannot heal from the past. You can only heal in the present. You will not heal tomorrow, but you may heal today. Again, in the process of liberating yourself to love, you will find that all healing is a matter of just allowing yourself to feel the nature of that vibration that you call love. Yes. Thank you so much. Okay. Sorry about that. No worries, Angela. Yes, it's going to get better, Desiree. Do not let the unfamiliar scare you. Kelly Fair is asking, I have recently gotten a new view on life and see a decision that I need to make. Can you please ask Raphael if my thoughts are correct and how I'm supposed to make that decision? He's saying, for you, as much as you would like to see it the way you want it to be, and you may do this also, it is very important that you also get to an understanding of how it would feel if it were that way, of how it would feel if it were that way now. You must recognize that what you are going towards, you may only find through the present moment. That decision that you wish to make right now is not a difficult one from the perspective of if this resulted in you already having what you wanted, there would be no concern. Make certain that you place your fears aside. You cannot make this decision with any fear. Do not fear whether you will do the right thing or the wrong thing, but be in alignment with that vibration that is just for you. What do you mean by just? That which is in alignment with her vibration of what it is she seeks in this moment. Love is the key. Love will move you forward. Can you make that decision from love? If you make any decision from love, it is inevitable what will happen. If you make any decision from love, it is inevitable what will happen. So make your decision from love, and you will find the quickest path to your fulfillment. Wow, that's really cool. Thank you. Great question. Question from Angela. May I have a message from Archangel Raphael? Thanks so much. It's funny. He's showing me this image of like something you're going to drink that's a milky substance, not like milk, but it's a white It's a white liquid. Oh, that's what it is. There's a, it's like I can't describe what it is, but he's saying there's something that you need to drink that's white in nature. So it's for her to know this, not you. Okay. But there's something that a liquid that you drink that's very good. It's a white liquid. Just show me this white liquid that you need to drink today. Can you not just tell me what it is? No, it's not for you to know. It's for her to know. She knows of what I speak. Okay. Okay, so he knows. So there's something you need to drink today. It's a white liquid that he says you know of it. You know what the white liquid is already. A question from Ruthie. Thank you for your question, Angela. Can you ask Raphael, do I still have more healing in my sacral chakra? Saying yes. He's saying yes, you do. But it's one more of movement. There is, yes. He's saying it's one of movement. Again, what he's telling me right now is you need to really work the sacrum. The sacrum isn't just the sacrum is actually a pump. It's a pumping system for cerebral spinal fluid. When you can apply pressure to the sacrum, it alters the way spinal fluid moves. And Raphael's saying, like, you need to really work that. Like, the best way to work it is to really tighten the lower muscles of the body, to tighten like the lower muscles of your body. Just tighten all the muscles below the sacrum and tighten them and loose them. Tighten them and loose them. He's saying pay particular attention to what happens when you hold it and release it. When you hold those muscles and release them, pay attention to what happens in the energy in that root center, the root chakra. Pay close attention to what happens in the root chakra when you tighten and loosen those muscles down there. That will liberate the energy that you're seeking to liberate. Yes. Again, with a question on the rotator cuff, I got it. Yes. He's saying there's something that you've been doing that you know you shouldn't be doing that caused this. That there was something that you've been doing that you shouldn't be doing that has caused this. You must not simply cease to do that which you should not be doing, but you must also release the emotions that you hold in your body about this. There is conflict there. That thing that you have been doing that you should not be doing has caused this. Yes. Yeah. He's saying 4 to 6 weeks, if you refrain from this action, if you refrain from holding on to the emotions that you feel for this, you will find quick remediation. Yeah, 4 weeks. Wow, that's interesting. Very interesting. Oh, you're welcome, Kelly. Thank you, Raphael. Yes. Oh, you're welcome, Ruthie. Question from Rudy. I think this will be the last question of the day, folks. Question from Rudy. Can I get a message about my right foot and how to heal this? This is it's an interesting thing. Yes. He's saying so few of you understand your relationship to your body. You would rather remain subjective to its suffering than understand the noble role that you have over it. You must understand that body is an instrument that is made in service to you. It is given to you that it may serve you. And if it is not serving you properly, it is because you are not serving it properly. You must not remain steadfast in that. With this regarding your foot, you must understand that you are standing in not such a solid place, that there are very precise emotions and feelings that you are not willing to let go of. if you continue to insist on holding on to them, they will remain there. You must understand that there is not a thought or feeling that you will have in your mind or body that the body does not know of it. You must understand your body is very reactive. And ultimately, I would say it will be the love that you would choose to extend to this part. So many of you wish to attack your bodies when they're in pain. You get angry or frustrated at them for being this way. And it would serve you much better to extend your love to them, for your body is simply representing to you the effects of your own causes. Your body is simply doing that. It will give you full value and appraisal of what it is you are doing, whether it is right or whether it is wrong. If you're experiencing suffering in your body, there is definitely something that is not being done correctly. You cannot separate yourself from the effects of your own causes. Even conditions that you would call disease are effects of very specific causes. It is why some of you can be exposed to certain elements and not get sick, and some of you be exposed to the same elements and get sick. There is an emotional element within you that harbors a space for that to be allowed. But with your foot, you must learn to stand more firmly in what is right for you than what is wrong for you. Wow. Thank you, Raphael. That's pretty intense. So again, I want to remind everybody, again, Master Jesus is doing a project with us. It's called The Second Bible. And it's going to be addressing common questions that people have about Master Jesus' teachings. And it's going to be an amazing thing because you can send your questions. The email address to send the questions to will be in the description box below this video and all subsequent videos until the 15th. You have until the 15th of this month to submit your questions about the teachings of Master Jesus that you were curious about. Why did he say this? What did he mean by that? So you have until the 15th to submit those questions, and some of those questions may end up in the book as well. But please remember, it's going to be called The Second Bible, and it's going to be based on Master Jesus' explanation of what he meant in common language so that anybody can understand it, so that it doesn't seem so confusing. You know, like statements like, as a man believeth in his heart. What he really means about that is that your heart is your subconscious mind, and how you believe in there affects what happens in your world. And he'll give very clear, concise understandings of his teachings so that anyone can be brought to an understanding of them from his perspective and have a comprehension from their perspective, and not simply be reliant on what we're being told to believe about them. Anyway, I'm really excited about this project. I'm looking forward to getting started on it. And again, the email address will be in the description box below this video and all subsequent videos up until the 15th. And again, I want to reiterate, Christina Holmes is the winner of my Patreon free reading for the month. So Christina Holmes, please reach out to me. You can either send me an email, williammichaelforbes59@gmail.com, and we'll set up your free reading for you. And again, I want to thank all my patrons for their support. If you want to support this channel and the messages and the information that comes through, please go to my Patreon account, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. I want to thank Archangel Raphael and the other beings that came in today to express this information. Whatever you experience from the messages you get, please leave your experience, what you felt, what occurred. That person that that asked about the COVID earlier today, please take the time to share your message of your experience with what he told you to do with your hands in the comment section, so that we get a chance you get a chance to share that with other people. This information is free to everybody. So have yourselves a wonderful, a joyful day. I will see you on the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. I want to wish you all much, much love, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye for now.